Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 Good News Christmas Stories. Now, don't worry, I haven't gone all Christmas. I'll have regular good news for you on Tuesday and Thursday, as always. But today is Christmas, and Pat was born in 1931. Her dad came home from World War I, left Chicago behind, said he wanted to return to small-town Indiana. Soon after, he discovered that the postmaster in Santa Claus, Indiana, I told you about that place the other day, was drowning in letters from children writing to Santa, so he stepped in to help. And before all this, he was a young sailor at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. They needed someone to play Santa at a children's party. Since he was originally from the town called Santa Claus, they asked him, but his beard was terrible, the suit wasn't great, but the kids loved him anyway, and he made himself a promise. If he survived the war, he would spend his life being Santa, and he was Santa for 52 years. So back to Pat, born in 1931. Pat has carried on Dad's tradition. Her family and volunteers answer thousands of letters to Santa every year. She says every letter gets answered, unless there's no address or it's kind of inappropriate. Most are sweet, like, "Dear Santa, please make my dad smarter." Some come with solutions, like a child who mailed Santa a house key because they didn't have a chimney. That's funny. You know, some are more serious, children dealing with an illness or grown-ups writing from prison. Pat says every letter is read carefully and answered personally, with the child's name spelled correctly and a little note at the bottom. Pat also founded the Santa Claus Museum and Village to protect the town's history, and she loves sharing the story of how the town got its name in 1856. Pat says, "Live so that your life may inspire others." Good words there. Fred's Vikings is a family team participating in the annual Relay for Life of Central New York. They're using some Christmas magic to bring dreams to life and raise funds for the fight against cancer through letters from Santa. Parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, and anyone wishing to have a letter from Santa sent to a special child can fill out a simple online form telling the team the child's name, address, and what they'd like for Christmas, as well as some thoughts on if they've been good or need some improvement. That's code for naughty. The volunteers draft the letter, print it out on holiday stationery, and mail it to the child before December 20th. They do ask for a $10 donation per letter. Bob is the senior community manager for the American Cancer Society and says this is such a great way of bringing joy and wonder to a child while making a meaningful gift to the American Cancer Society as well. We applaud these volunteers for taking the time to do this and raise critical funds to help further research, education, advocacy, and patient service programs. The folks at Hannibal Parks and Recreation are teaming up with Santa's Elves again this year. The North Pole Express mailbox has been set up outside of Hannibal City Hall. Officials at Hannibal Parks and Rec say it's important that letters include the child's name, age, biggest Christmas wish, and return address so Santa can write them back. Mary Lynn is the coordinator there and says we want to make sure that Santa can read it, so make sure the address is legible, and make sure that whatever they're wanting is legible in the letter as well. Santa will respond if the letters come to this mailbox. Santa will respond to the address. This is a special North Pole Express mailbox. We have direct responses from Santa Claus. Last day for letters, December 15th. They say around 100 kids participate every year. Today in Seville, it's the 4th Papa Noelada, in which dozens of bikers dressed as Santa Claus will take part in a parade. Part of the goal is to bring gifts to children who are in the Children's Hospital. The event starts at 10:30 a.m. and will run through several streets of the city center to culminate at the hospital. Sounds like a lot of fun, seeing a bunch of Santas on bikes. All right, yesterday I told you about fast food for Christmas. Well, how about Christmas sandwiches? This seems to be a big deal over in the UK. Hannah has been investigating these and says they're overpriced, structurally unsound, and weirder by the year, but we buy them anyway. We're told that overnight, the humble sandwich becomes a festival of overcomplication. Pigs in blanket, ciabattas, Yorkshire pudding wraps, Boxing Day curry wedged between slices of onion bread, porchetta baguettes littered with Parmesan, cranberries, and shredded apple. That does sound like way too much. For reasons that defy science and sanity, in December, the Brits have decided that an entire roast dinner belongs in a cold portable for £5 for lunch, if you're lucky. At the top end, there's Leon's Veggie Twistmas Ciabatta, stuffed with roasted squash, apricot and pine nut stuffing, and pomegranate molasses sauce. That'll go for £8. It's not an 8-pound sandwich. That's the currency, pounds, 8 of them. Like dollars, but different. Gales is charging $7.80 for its smoked turkey and Swiss cheese sandwich. Right, that actually sounds really good. I would get that. Tesco has taken their wrap and drenched it in gravy mayonnaise. Pret has launched a porchetta and sage baguette. One review praised it for its herby crust. Another called it texturally confusing. Black Sheep Coffee has invented the pigs in blanket ciabatta the reviewers claim is the ultimate hangover cure. And here's a winner line. They call these lunches The most British lunch imaginable. Optimistic in theory, compromised in execution, and clung to with inexplicable seasonal loyalty. Those are your 5 Good News Christmas stories for today. Have a great day.